All right, everybody.
What up?
How we doing, everybody? How we feeling?
I'm feeling confused, Michael.
I'm very confused about everything that went
Not
down
unhappy,
tonight.
just confused.
Confused? Not mad. We're not upset.
I actually had a fairly good time this evening. I would say we were talking about this a little off air. I think this didn't quite live up to the expectations of the card overall. That's kind of always going to be the case. The main event was a little weird, pretty ultimately very not a bad fight, but definitely a curious one. And it leads down a bunch of funny roads, frankly, of like what the hell just happened. But we didn't end with some like super barn burner. The co-main event was awesome. Two kind of not that important, significant fights, but not that interesting. And the main card opener. So the main card probably was like overall letdown, even if it wasn't bad. But we had very high expectations. Probably came in a little under, but I still had a very good time. I'm mostly just trying to process what that was.
Yeah. So the victory horns sound for Sean Strickland. He is now a two-time middleweight champion. Wins the fight 48-47, 48-47, 47-48, split decision win over Khamzat Chimaev. Gets it done. Like we talked about, one of the weirdest fights I've ever seen. The first round was very much what a lot of people expected.
I felt so smart in the first round. I was like, I called it. This is exactly right. And then I was never right again.
Yeah. And then Khamzat didn't shoot. Khamzat didn't shoot another. Well, he did shoot a takedown in the second round, but it was a lazy shot. Strickland ended up getting on top.
He basically pulled guard off it. It was
and then pulled
ugly.
guard.
Yeah.
Which, again, like saying that sentence into a live microphone, Khamzat Chimaev pulled guard,
super
is
weird.
Bananas.
Super weird.
And then round 3 happens. And to me, at least in my eyes, I thought Khamzat Chimaev outstruck Sean Strickland to win round 3. None of the judges agreed.
Nope.
I thought
judges were unanimous in every round except for the last, which is curious because that did not feel like a round that should have been a swing round. But
yeah. And then round 4 was clearly Khamzat Chimaev. And then round 5 was kind of up in the air, but I thought Chimaev won round 3. So 3 rounds to 2 or 4 rounds to 1 for Khamzat just kind of seemed like that's what was happening, but not a robbery. None of that. No. Sean Strickland goes out there, gets somehow the fight he wanted, and crazy. Like, I'm just baffled by it. And I see people in the chat, they're like, exactly what I said was going to happen. No, you didn't.
I don't think
you are so full of shit.
Fight.
It is not even funny that you predicted that fight to happen. I don't believe you. Even if you threw out a receipt into social media, you made it right now. Like it's an AI version of your receipt. No one expected this fight. Nobody in the world. If you predicted Sean Strickland was going to win, that's cool. But there's no way you expected those 25 minutes to go like that. I'm trying to think of a more baffling 25-minute fight than what I just watched, where like nothing I expected happened.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think we all could have expected, and a lot of people did talk about this being a possibility of like, but it was always contingent on, well, Strickland's going to stuff takedowns, and then this happens, but he didn't. He stuffed some. Like, it's not like he got taken down every time, but I think Chimaev was like 9 of 12 on takedowns or something. Like, he didn't shoot in rounds 3 or 4, and I am interested to see if he ever speaks about it. If maybe, because he looked super gassed in the second round.
He did. I thought he was.
Which was super
done
weird because he didn't do anything, and it's not like Sean made him tired. But I thought he might actually just be done. Instead, he seemed to be fine, and he just kept fighting. And it's weird. I want to watch it back. A lot of people are very confident that Sean won 3 rounds. I don't. I think Sean could have won 3 rounds. The people who are confident strongly suggest to me that they have ulterior motives in their confidence. So I want to go back and watch it because Khamzat was obviously advancing the whole time. Sean kept jabbing. They were both bleeding profusely from the nose. And I felt like Khamzat was landing the more powerful strikes, but I can't not 100% sure. And I was just not at all the fight I expected from Chimaev, because it did seem like he willingly engaged in a fight that Sean Strickland would have preferred for a big chunk of the middle portion. And then in the end, like I said, the fifth round ended up being the swing round. The judges agreed in whole on the first four. The judges split on the fifth round, which I think seems wrong. That round felt very clearly a Sean Strickland round to me. And so it's just the last time Sean Strickland did this, we were not here. We were spiritually here. And we spent the whole time laughing because it was so funny that he beat Israel Adesanya.
Well, he floored him and then just
beat the shit out of him for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And this time I was just like, I don't know who's winning. I don't know what's going on. This isn't what's happening. And I can't wait to find out more from them. I would love to. We'll hear what Sean Strickland says about the fight and what he felt in there. But
because Sean was very confident he won.
Yeah, Sean, and apparently was rightly so. I mean, he did in fact get the W. I'm interested to see how the internet split. I saw a lot of Strickland scorecards, but again, and I don't have a single issue with them. I think two of those rounds felt to me very swingy. I thought if Sean would win, it would both look like that and not look like that. And so it's very, very still trying to process what their shit was going on, because Sean Strickland lost quite convincingly to Dricus du Plessis, who lost quite convincingly to Hamza Chimaev, who just lost. It's middleweight's weird, man. It's weird.
So I get again, if you're just joining us, welcome to the post show. Hamza Chimaev just lost the middleweight title to Sean Strickland in a very weird fight, split decision. I'm with you. I have to go back and probably rewatch it tomorrow. Watch it. No sound, no nothing. It was just such a strange fight. I scored it for Chimaev watching it live. Again, I'm with you. No robbery. This is totally fine.
Not at all robbery.
I gave Hamza 1-3-4, Strickland 2. I thought Strickland clearly won the fifth round. Third round's up in the air, but again, it's kind of depends on what you favor. Do you favor a guy landing some jabs and moving backwards, and good amount of jabs?
Apparently, he landed
landing
a lot.
Better shots.
I remember at one point we were watching it, and the stats showed him landing way more strikes than I thought was accurate. And I just never really trust the stat numbers in general. But like I said, it is also, we always say this, it is definitely a little bit more difficult to feel like massively confident while we're doing this. Other things are happening, but that just was so weird, Mike.
Yeah.
But I mean, ultimately, credit to Sean Strickland, credit to Eric Nixick and company. They are 2-time middleweight champions. I don't know where Hamza Chimaev goes from this. Does he just go to 205? Does Strickland fight Imavov? Does he fight DDP, who has 2 wins over him? Like what? I don't know what happened or what's going to happen. I am left befuddled.
I think the biggest loser tonight was Nasruddin Imavov.
I hope that's not true.
I feel like he is not getting the next fight. I feel like Hamza Chimaev has a better shot at getting a rematch than Nasruddin Imavov has a shot of fighting for the belt right now. And it's a bummer that I have to say that, but there's just no way, after seeing the buzz this fight got, the business that it did, the closeness of the fight, and the emotions on both sides of the fence.
They could run it back, which would, my feelings on immediate rematches.
It's silly.
I hate them the most.
Imavov should have gotten the shot before Sean Strickland if we're living in a fair and just world, but we know the world we're living in. We're living in the let's put butts in seats, let's get people to watch. Sean Strickland is exactly who the UFC wants. This is the guy for the fan base that the UFC is trying to grab. Sean Strickland is the face of that fan base. That's who they want to trot out there. So I ask you, Jen Meshew, we can talk about the fight all we want. Mm-hmm. It was a weird one. Was this the better result for the UFC?
No, I think the better result for the UFC is Hamza Chimaev winning.
Why is that?
Especially if you'd won, like if he'd come away with the decision there, I think they probably sit him down like, you're not going to 205, not off that performance. You got to stay, you got to fight Imavov. I think it's not a bad outcome for Sean Strickland to win. They're obviously happy to be in the Sean Strickland business. As you said, super popular guy. They like that. He will fight frequently. It is always a little bit better for the UFC if somebody holds a belt for a little bit of time. And I think it's pretty unlikely that Sean Strickland retains his title for long. DDP's right there. Imavov has a pretty good chance against him. Sean could beat Imavov too, but like Sean Strickland appears to have he's better when nobody believes in him in energy. And so I think he'll probably dump the belt back, and then you've got a little bit more turnover. They had been so invested in Chimaev, and I thought that there was a chance we were on our way to the best case scenario for the UFC, which is, okay, Chimaev wins, but it's competitive enough that we say, stick around a little bit more. Let's let light heavyweight and Carlos Ulberg and everything that's going on up there, let's let that settle a little bit more, and you put a couple of defenses down here. So let's fight Imavov again, or not again. Let's fight Imavov, and maybe you fight a Joe Pyfer. Now I guess they do have opportunities because they can kind of throw anybody they want in there, but it is. I think it would be better for Chimaev. It's not a disaster for them, certainly.
Of course not.
But yeah, it's always going to be weird to have a champion who has 2 losses to the number 1 contender. In any situation, that will be a weird thing, and that's what we have right now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what else they book in middleweight. We'll see where Nasruddin fits in all of this. God, man. Nasruddin hates Sean Strickland. Like that there is.
I believe that's not a fake heat.
Yeah, if you want like honestly, if you want like legitimate heat, like Nasruddin Imavov would probably fight Sean Strickland in the street. Like he probably would.
I believe that.
Like that's kind of where he's at right now. So can they build that? I don't know. I mean, they should be able to. They're the UFC. They could put a video package together to boost some excitement. But I see a lot of people in here being like, oh, Khamzat's getting no chance. He should go to the back of the line. I don't think you understand what the UFC is right now. They are not a meritocracy. And if we look at this, to me, the more interesting
50-50 chance they rematch that immediately.
Oh, yeah. And I actually think it's like 55-45 because it's the biggest fight you can make in the division right now is them running it back. There's nothing bigger than that they can make right now, unless Pereira drops back down or something. Like there's nothing bigger than rebooking this rematch because even because again, the UFC does not care about the hardcore fans. They are going to try to attract the new fan base, throw those 2 dudes out there saying the shit they were saying to each other. You could do it again. So could be Joe Pyfer too. Could be Joe Pyfer getting it in Philly if Sean wants to turn around that quick. We're in a weird place.
I will be astonished if it's Joe Pyfer. I think it is 50-50 chance of a Khamzat immediate rematch versus a Nasruddin Imavov gets Strickland, and because again,
could be something else too, but
it could.
Nothing got announced.
I think it's just gonna. My guess is right now I'll go 55 for Imavov because it won't stun me if Khamzat gets it back, but there is a little bit of. We pulled the curtain back on this, all week. Dana White's out here saying this is the third greatest rivalry of all time. And then before the fight, they touch glove multiple times. At the end, Khamzat puts the belt on Sean Strickland, gives him a hug and a kiss. And actually, it's we knew we don't need to relitigate that.
Yeah,
but they peeled the
entire time.
But they peeled the curtain back on this kind of being a fake rivalry, and so. Booking an immediate rematch maybe loses some heat, whereas Imavov hates him, and they can immediately have a real hot thing with a guy who just absolutely deserves it. And so my guess is we get Imavov Strickland next. And I don't know if Chimaev, a lot was made while we were doing our watch party. Go back and watch that. A lot was made of like, okay, people have been talking about Khamzat Chimaev didn't make weight. I think that's silly. I think he obviously made weight, but he definitely had a bad weight cut. People were suggesting, maybe rightly, I don't know, that like he gassed in the second round because of a really bad weight cut. I think that's totally possible. He had already been talking about maybe moving to 205, so maybe Chimaev just, Poetons it. It's like, oh, I lost the belt. I'll just go up to 205 now. And instead of fighting for the belt immediately, he fights Paulo Costa. They have a long running rivalry.
He probably should just go to 205.
I was thinking, like, he can just go. If he just
goes
to 205, he can fight Paulo Costa right now. And that's probably a number one contender fight at light heavyweight. And so maybe that's what ends up happening. All of it is so strange. It's all so, I at no point in time considered that before this fight that Khamzat Chimaev might be going to 205, having dropped the belt. And it's weird times, man.
Last thing, and then we'll kind of move on. My brain is still a little fried by what we watched. Weird is the clear definition of that fight. I think anything else is just wrong, but let's take that word out of it. We can only go with 2 words. Actually, I'm going to go with this. True or false? That was a good fight.
True.
Okay.
I don't think it was a great fight. I don't think anybody would claim so, and it's a fight that I'm going to watch again because I just kind of want to see and learn. It's not one of the fights of the year. It certainly wasn't a bad fight, right? Like, there were swings. The first round was all Chimaev. The second round, Strickland took over. Chimaev came back in the third. Apparently didn't as much as we thought he did based on the judging scorecard. Fourth round, like, it's a, by most definitions, good, not great fight. Certainly some people were probably a little bit bored because it was also a classic Sean Strickland fight. Not a lot of like rear hand punches, a lot of jabs, some body shots, some takedowns. Decent fight, not great, but good.
What was a really good fight was the co-main event.
Terrific fight.
Best fight of the night by a lot.
One of the better ones of the year.
Really good fight. Joshua Van, still the flyweight champion. He knocks out Tetsuro Taira in round. Was that 5th round?
Fifth round. Yeah.
In round 5. However you feel about the stoppage, I think the finish was coming anyways. I still think the stoppage was a little early. And wait, what?
What?
There's Sean Strickland. He has arrived at the post show. There you have it. The new middleweight champion.
Yeah.
No title belts. Oh, there it is. There's the title belt. I was like, where's the friggin' title belt? Sean Strickland is the champion. His nose looks like a whole other human being. But
I refuse to believe that because I have it on good authority that Khamzat Chimaev did no damage to him. That's what people in the chat have told me.
Yeah, exactly. Khamzat did nothing.
Absolutely no damage to that man.
Oh my God.
His nose is almost certainly a little bit broken.
His whole face is effed up.
Man. Yeah, they both just jabbed each other a whole lot in the face.
Yeah. There were a lot of shots that landed, but Josh Van Tetsuro Taira rocked. I mean, exceeded expectations to me. Again, but still kind of a weird fight because Taira had such a great first round. Had moments on the feet too, but then did this thing where he just kept his hands at his shins, and Josh Van punched him in the face a bunch of times. Like, but still, really fun fight. And Josh Van is still the flyweight champion. And now there's only one direction to go, even though Josh Van kind of fumbled the call out. There's just no other direction. We're getting the pants rematch, and I got to tell you, just being a purist of the sport, one of the 5 fights I have to see right now is Van Pantoja 2 doing it for real.
Yeah, man. That fight was awesome. Some point we'll get him running it back. It doesn't need to be soon or immediately, but that fight was super fun. I full credit to Joshua Van, who honestly, Taira had the same sort of first round that Chimaev did. Like, he was winning the striking exchanges. He scored a takedown. He got dominant position and was just, as I was like, man, Taira looks the best he's ever looked in that first round. Vaughn did a lot better in the second round, and then by the end of it, floored him with a right hand when Taira got a little too lackadaisical, maybe near the end. Third round was really, really putting it on him and like had him in some serious trouble. And out of nowhere, Taira just kind of like YOLOs it and starts swinging back, and Vaughn stops pressing, and then Taira finishes the round getting a top position, and we're getting these back and forth swings. We talked about a lot on the watch party. I didn't love the stoppage.
I didn't either.
I don't think that stoppage is one of the 10 worst stoppages of all time. I do think in a title fight that's that close, you had already seen Taira overcome very bad circumstances earlier to have success. I think you give him every opportunity he can. But I also ultimately don't think it mattered because at that point, Tyra was going to lose the fight. It's not like he was going to overcome. I think there was a really good chance that Vaughn actually might have just gotten a more of a emphatic finish there that was coming. Tyra immediately was upset. Again, I think he has reason to feel like he got an opportunity a little bit taken away, but it's ultimately not going to matter. He'll go back. Flyweight's really tough right now, so I don't know.
Great
He's going to have to get some wins over really good dudes, but I'm really confident at some point, whether it's for a belt or not, those two dudes are going to fight. And in the meantime, Vaughn sucks at the mic. We should probably just not let him speak into one, but I don't really care about that. Him versus Pantoja in a real fight is going to be awesome, and I cannot wait for it.
Yes. Bo Nickel needs a pro wrestling manager. Josh Van's probably looking at getting a pro wrestling manager as well to speak for him. Cool dude. Seems like a cool guy that you'd want to like have a beer with, but just not good at speaking on the mic. Like Brandon Moreno was great at it.
No.
You know, Pantoja's great at it. Very good.
Vaughn needs a guy to talk on the mic for him. I'm available. Tyra needs a guy to teach him to just. At one point in that fight, and you expertly noted this while we were watching it, after getting hit in the face for the 5,000th time, it was a lot. He just kept getting jabbed. Tyra is getting punched in his face is a bloody mess because he's just been jabbed up and had right hands all day. And he hits him with the Larry, Moe, and Curly. I was like, buddy, instead of doing this, what if you just keep him right there? Just put him right there. And Hamza Chimaev did a great job of keeping his hands up. Go work with him, Tetsuro, because he doesn't have head movement. That maybe that'll come, but mostly he really needs to just not have his hands by his knees. He's not getting punched in the knees, Mike. Keep his hands up.
Oh my God, he was just getting lit up, man.
I'll also say I'm really excited to rewatch that fight and see stuff that I may have missed. It felt to me like Vaughn didn't really do a lot of body work, which has been a calling card of his until the 5th round. And as soon as he started doing it, like the sequence that ultimately finished the fight was him hurting Tyra to the body. And so I don't know why he didn't do that a little earlier, but I mean, he's 24 years old. I have him as the best flyweight on earth because it was a valid win over Pantoja, even if it's weird. I don't know if he is like the best flyweight on earth, right? But at 24 years old, he's basically miniature Max Holloway, and that's pretty awesome.
We have bonuses, Jed.
Okay.
Can I take a guess?
I'm 100% certain Vaughn and Tyra won fight of the night.
Yes.
I think Danny even told him in the cage, like, you guys are getting under.
Yeah.
Okay. Totally fair. Man, they can't. I refuse to believe they would have done it. So we're looking for 2 performance bonuses. I'm going to look at the old results here to remind myself what happened. I don't think King Green got one because they love to not give King Green bonuses. So that's funny. It sucks for him, but I hope. I don't think they did it because why would they be good? Yaroslav Amosov.
Yes.
Oh, totally deserved. I'm really glad they did that.
I honestly, Yaroslav Amosov had the best performance in the entire night, in my opinion. Like, he dummied Joel Alvarez. It
was great. So yeah. I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah,
that's
best performance of the night.
That's sick. I love that they did that. I maintained during the thing that they're going to give it to Basangar Sursakai of Jimmy Suss because they like Jimmy Suss and he put a man to sleep and they care for that.
He did not.
Okay. Jim Miller?
Yes.
Yeah, we're totally okay with Jimbo getting it.
Ateba Gautier killed a man with one punch.
Yeah, but he was a minus 1,400 favorite. I think you probably shouldn't get a performance bonus if you're a minus 1,400 favorite.
Jimmy Suss probably shouldn't have gotten the bonus.
I'm totally fine with him giving it to Jim Miller. I just thought he's a guy they like and he slept a dude, so they tend to favor that, but that's dope. I love that. I think those are good choices.
Yeah.
King Green, I probably over Jim Miller, but not upset about it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Jim Miller was a very big underdog.
Amosov getting one is
I'm thrilled because
I have newfound faith.
He Mighty Moused him. It was awesome. He threw him in the air and choked him. It was great.
We'll get to the peeps. We're not going to be here super duper long. I think Dana's actually speaking with the media right now. Good win for Josh Van. We already talked about that. he'll fight Pants. Tyra will be interesting to see. AK now we'll talk about where he goes.
They go to Japan and he fights Kyoji Horiguchi in Japan.
Win, lose, or draw against Cop.
Correct, because that won't be until the end of the year anyway. So you go in the fall. They go back to Japan for the first time. I don't think that's actually going to happen. That's what I want to happen in my heart and soul.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just give it away. I'm going Vinny Siggs.
I think that's fine too.
Vinny Siggs.
I think that makes sense.
Because Siggs is going to bring some things to the table that he can take advantage of after watching this fight. Like, he is a very good striker, and he's a better striker than Tetsuya Taira is. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the ground game is not as strong. Yeah. The get-up game may not be as strong. But
very winnable fight for Taira.
But Vinny Siggs, let us not forget, Vinny Siggs, if he didn't give the fight away in round 5, would be the flyweight champion of the world. And just allowed himself to get taken down in round 5.
Totally okay with that fight.
So I think we could learn some lessons from that one. So, but flyweight's awesome, man. We got a big win for Alexander Volkov over Walter Cortez Acosta. Good for him. He's not
sure
not going to be fighting for the belt anytime soon, but
you're fighting Josh Hokett. I mean, maybe Derek Lewis again if Derek Lewis pulls off.
Yeah, he's getting
a very funny upset, but you're probably fighting Josh Hokett next.
More than likely.
I would bet a lot of money on that, quite frankly.
Sean Brady obliterates Joaquin Buckley. Just not competitive in any way, shape, or form. Not for 1 second was that fight competitive.
Genuinely, the story of that fight is there was a massive amount of line movement that ended up being nothing because Brady just ran right over him.
The line movement it looked like it should have gone the opposite direction.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if anybody asked Brady about it. It's still just super weird, but that fight looked like I thought that fight would look, which is good because a lot of the other fights I was incorrect in my assessment of how they would look. But that one was one where I was like, I kind of think I watched Joaquin Buckley get taken down a million times by Kamaru Usman until Usman got tired in the 5th round, and Sean Brady's just going to do that. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. I mean, just pure dominance.
Yeah.
Just as lopsided as you can possibly get in a fight that's not stopped. So good bounce back win for Sean Brady. Really needed that one. We talked about King Green.
He's fired up. He's ready to fight in Philly. Stevens. Oh, and then King Green. Yeah. I was sick. It was great. I mean, he's a big favorite. It's a weird fight. It's Jeremy Stevens, but he gave a good post fight. He always does. It's King Green.
Then he begged for the bonus and didn't get it.
He didn't. To be fair,
not beg, yeah, but
he really mostly just complained that they never give him a bonus.
He should have definitely gotten one,
which is better than be like, Mexico. Can I get a bonus? But he was like, dude, they didn't give me a bonus when I knocked out Daniel Zellhuber. They don't ever give me a bonus.
Yeah,
and then they also didn't give him a bonus tonight.
Which is wild, man.
Yeah, you probably could have given it to him over Jim Miller, but who's going to be upset when Jim Miller gets a bonus?
Or, you're a $1 billion company. You could have just given both of them bonuses.
I genuinely am opposed to performance bonuses. I think you give a bonus for Friday night, and all the finish bonuses that they do now, instead of doing them 25, they're all just 100K. Incentivize people to finish fights.
Finishes from Gauthier, Amosov, Dawson, and Jim Miller. All the middle prelims.
The middle prelims were sick. And those were the ones where I thought we might get a lot of everybody thought Table Gauthier was going to finish. But I thought the rest of those were very likely to be competitive, interesting fights, but maybe some snoozers, and they were all heaters.
Roman Kopylov, Marco Tulio was a fun fight.
Very fun fight. Also, one of the fights that I actually predicted pretty well. I was like, I think Kopylov is being undervalued right now.
Yeah,
he lost to 2 very good guys, and Tulio has never beaten anybody. And I was like, well, I'm stupid for the first 5 minutes. It's like, oh, Jed, you're dumb. And then he suddenly dropped Tulio, and the fight changed. So good, yeah.
Pat Sabatini, William Gomi is a fight that happened. Sure did. Pat Sabatini won that fight, so good on him. We mentioned Jimmy Suss, Sakayev finishes Jordan Santos in a kind of a fight that happened until it was over. Sakayev, man, guy has so much talent.
Very interesting UFC career.
He's got so much. I have Bahia vibes from him so badly right now.
That is a great comp because he obviously trains with Hamzat. Everybody expects big things. He's been given very favorable matchups, and he has Makayev. That's a perfect comp, Mike, because he has finished everybody. And in every one of those fights, you're like, this hasn't looked like we thought it would. George Santos is like not really UFC caliber. And
he was thumping him up a little bit in that fight.
yeah, like he was probably never really at risk of losing the fight, but the whole time you were also just like, dude, you're by far better than him on the ground. Why are we doing the striking thing? And the minute he was like, I'm going to score a takedown, he moved to the back and choked him unconscious. He feels like he may be a little bit high on his own supply, a little bit, I'm God's gift and I can do whatever I want. And he's not as talented or as physical as Chimaev was, who could kind of do that shit. So he's flying a little too close to the sun. I think eventually it's going to get him burnt. He just hasn't faced the level of competition that's going to get him there yet.
Yeah. He's got to want to hurt people too.
Yeah.
I mean, put a dude to sleep and that's great, but we get to see him try to hurt people.
Yeah.
That was the thing about Chimaev that it like annoyed us. The thing about Chimaev is he was
the worst about that.
He had the most electric debut too. He was the first fight of UFC
tapped
London,
him instantaneously.
Just flying. He just kneed Cody Durden into an oblivion, then tapped him. And then from there didn't want to hurt anybody, snuck out a submission. So I worry about Serge Chimaev because he's so talented. I just don't want to see him go down that same rabbit hole because I'm convinced that Chimaev will never, ever, ever fight in the UFC again. I think they're just done with him. They gave him a shot and they're just like, okay, we're fine. Like we've done this and we don't need him anymore. And hopefully Serge Chimaev can start wanting to hurt some people. And then Jose Ochoa.
Really good performance from him.
Yeah, man. Clayton Carpenter, to quote the great Jim Ross, tougher than a $2 steak. He got his ass beat all over that damn cage. And Ochoa looked about as good as he could have looked in this fight. So good on him. Daniel Cormier comparing him to Carlos Prates was certainly a choice, but
that's
tough.
Daniel
scenes.
Cormier just saw Carlos Prates fight recently, and that's what's at the top of mind.
Yeah.
That was the one fight on this card where I was like, I also did this Sabatini go meme where I was like, I'm not going to do a lot of research. Jose Ochoa had a tough run, but talented dude. Clayton Carpenter had been all right, and Ochoa just looked great. So really good start. Like a really good start to the card. I enjoyed the Pat Sabatini William Gomez fight. The less we talk about that, the better. Everything else I felt was quite strong on the prelims. Main card, bit up and down, bit hit or miss. Ultimately, I had a pretty good time. It didn't quite live up to the 3-star expectations. If you go to a 3-star Michelin restaurant, you're expecting to be wowed. This probably didn't quite get us there, but I would still say I had a very positive time this evening and a ton of stuff that I'm going to keep thinking about because I'm going to go back tomorrow. I'm going to watch the main event. I'm going to watch the co-main event for sure. Probably not going to watch Volkov, Walter Cortez Acosta. Probably good on that one, but I'm absolutely going to watch the main and co-main event just to get a vibe on them again. I'll probably watch King Green, Jeremy Stevens because it was just fun.
Yeah.
So good. The expectations were A plus. I think we got B plus. Not bad. Not a bad night at the office, especially now that we're not dropping $80 for these. If I spent $80 on that, I'd be a little bit more upset, I think.
Yeah, I think other people would be too.
$9.99 for or whatever. I don't remember what my parents. I think I paid $30 for the yearly, but yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
Some notes from Dana White.
Okay.
From Aaron Bronstetter.
Shout out Aaron. AB.
King Green will get his own custom shorts in lieu of earning a bonus. He says that Green deserves a ton of credit for facing Stevens despite the weight miss. And when they were determining the bonuses, they took into account the quality of opponent. Okay. Sounds like Jeremy Stevens' days are numbered.
Yeah, and that is sort of the thing. I do feel like sometimes they take into account, but they don't always take into account quality opponent. I just wish somebody would follow up with Dana and be like, can King Green eat his shorts? Because I bet if you ask King Green, he would prefer $100K to custom fight shorts.
Yes. Well, he's getting 25 and custom fight shorts. So
that's true. I guess he'd prefer 75K and custom fight shorts because the company is too cheap ass to give 125K to knockout bonuses. It's so nuts.
Dana White scored the fight for Sean Strickland, had it even heading into the 5th round, gave the 5th round to Sean. scored it the heavyweight fight for Waldo Cortez Acosta.
Oh, apparently, Chimaev approached Dana and asked him about moving up. And Dana said him moving up is exciting.
Numbers tonight are monstrous, but White House will be bigger.
Of course, that's obvious.
White on whether Rousey Carano will eclipse the White House numbers, declines to answer and says he loves Ronda and Gina and wishes them well.
It's 100% going to eclipse it, and he can't say that.
White House. It's going to smash it.
He could have lied, but like everyone would know a lie, and that's not a.
But again, let's just be clear.
If the UFC White House card was on Netflix, it would do better numbers than Ronda Gina, but it's not. Sure. So it's not going to do those numbers
for sure. That's what it comes down to. The White House card is the better fight card by a billion miles. Now that I think about it, than MVP. Like MVP's got names, and they brought on like good young fighters who are going to murder some people on that card. And you're going to get Pumi Nakuda, Adrian Moraes, was a super interesting fight just in general. But the Netflix numbers are they're going to smash the White House. Like it's going to be the biggest MMA event of all time in terms of numbers. But I mean, but that does not mean that the MVP card is better than the White House card. It's not even better than this card.
Also not remotely close.
Yeah, it's not even close. Not even close. He heard about the swing in the Buckley-Brady betting line all afternoon, says that because of the numbers, it didn't surprise him there was big live movement in the fight. UFC was not aware that Grant Dawson's wife had a miscarriage earlier this week. That was the really sad thing. Yeah. I like Grant Dawson a lot. He's one of the people that I was interviewing well before he was in the UFC. So really sad to hear. Can't imagine what him and his wife are going through. So yeah, really tough news. No deal done with Conor McGregor. Still confident that McGregor is going to fight this year. More confident than he was last year.
That's why we didn't get the announcement.
That's why we didn't get the announcement. If you thought this is going to be easy, never is. It never is. We got no announcements, which I'm really shocked by. Really shocked by. Chimaev said he wants to move up to light heavyweight. So there you go. He's going up to 205, and he's going to fight Paul.
I got to tell you, he's fighting Paul Acosta 1,000,000,000%. I don't know if it'll be for an interim belt, but he's 100%.
Interim belt of the real belt.
If Paulo hasn't already started tweeting, that man is about to be tweeting Gourmet Chin Chin 500 times. Yeah.
Dana said he was so concerned about the Strickland Chimaev weigh-in, he didn't even think about any sort of incident with Josh Hokett. Kid on stage yesterday was screaming his name from the crowd, so Dana invited him up. Kid told him it was the best day of his life. I was wondering who that kid was.
Yeah, everyone was like, is that somebody? I was like, okay, well.
Is he promoting Fury Joshua? Quote, let's see what happens. White asks if he ever lies about these sorts of things.
I mean, I love whoever asked that, but like,
no, Dana said that.
Oh,
do I ever lie about these?
I thought somebody asked. Was like, yeah,
which is irony at its finest.
Say untruths.
Says White House will be the biggest viewing audience for any UFC events.
Also,
ever.
Very obviously true.
Yeah,
the fucking ellipse. It's seats like 100,000. It's obviously going to be enormous.
What else we got? Jim Miller that was the last fight on Jim Miller's deal, but he just signed a 5-fight extension.
Yep.
If he fights out that extension, he will have 51 fights in the UFC. Crazy.
So
no dates.
So he's got 4 fights left then, because this was 47. So you fight, because this was fight 47 for him. So if you added 5 to that, this was 47 for him.
Okay, so the math is
52 is the answer.
No one for Spain. No date for Spain. Armin Sarukian, definitely a title contender.
They're never going to Spain.
Armin's, yeah. Now we're getting to the point where media people are just asking questions to hear themselves talk. And now I'm out. I'm definitely out. So there we go. If you guys are going to go watch it, you can. Let's go to the super chatters and then get out of here. Spencer completely had a 3-2 for Boers, but not a robbery. We're both in the same boat.
Again, I'll rewatch and maybe I'll feel differently.
3-2 Strickland is totally fine.
I think 3-2 either side is fine.
Yep.
I also would personally believe that a draw is fine.
A draw would also be fine with that first round being what it was.
I'm not 100% certain which rules New Jersey's operating under, so maybe that would change it. I think you can make an argument for 10-8 in the first round. I think it should be based on like logic, but per the actual rules, I had no anticipation that anyone would score 10-8 for the first round, but I do think that is you are able to do so based on the scoring criteria.
Around 320 in the books. How are we feeling tonight? Did it underwhelm, feel about right, or exceeded expectations? It was strange but entertaining. I think it felt about right. Only because
a little underwhelmed, but it's not bad. Like, not like, oh, I'm disappointed. Just
the main was just weird. The whole beef thing I didn't even take into account when
them
fight.
Getting rid of it so quickly was pretty funny.
Yeah.
They didn't even pretend like in the face-offs. They're both smiling and dapping each other up like 5 times. I was like, okay, we just threw out all the pretend zones.
Okay. We didn't wait till the end for the. I even said like verbatim what Sean Strickland was going to say on the microphone. He's a great guy. Chechens are great fighters. He's the warrior. Like, yeah, like verbatim.
I went too hard. I'm sorry, guys. I should be a better role model.
Oh my God.
He's a great fighter.
Yeah. We're friends. God, they were having steak dinner last night. No doubt about it. Super quick Google, but the only fights where a bigger dog won a belt are Pena.
Dude, he's Pena. I said it immediately.
Yeah. TJ Barrow type. Sean's done it twice. Absolutely outrageous. Good for him, man. He's officially a UFC Hall of Famer now.
He is. He is the middleweight Pena, which is because his first one was this like epic, incredible upset win, and his second one is this like kind of weird split decision win, and he just is Juliana Pena. Only their kinds of annoying are very different. They're very different types of annoying. Yeah. He's Julian Pena. It's wild.
My biggest takeaway from tonight is that UFC 293 will be the greatest post-fight show we've ever had. It'll never be better. Nothing will ever eclipse it.
It's pretty tough to ever beat that. But
the funny Sean Strickland. I'm not gonna say that. There's still a chance. June 14th. God, year of our Lord 2026, we could have an even funnier post-fight show.
So much fun if everything bad happened.
If Justin Gaethje knocks
just knocks out of the Taporia, it will be one of the 5 best days in the history of MMA.
Cyril Gane 50-43ing Alex Pereira in a fight no one will ever rewatch.
I think them going to a draw is funnier, actually.
Okay.
Because then Tom's back and he's like, well, what now?
Eamon Zahavi obliterating Sean O'Malley.
We do Tom Aspinall versus Volkov because they go to a draw and Derek Lewis knocks out Josh Hogan.
Eamon Zahavi destroying.
I think that would just be so funny if that happened. To count genuinely the biggest shocker of the whole week, Sean O'Malley getting 0 questions at the White House press conference. Kyle Dawkins got 2, and Sean O'Malley got none.
He sat there. His claim to fame was
Diego Lopez just sat there doing nothing.
Yep. That's pretty much what it was. Did Steve Garcia get a question? No way.
I don't think Steve did.
Yeah, Steve.
That's very,
and then what other funny moment? Kyle Dawkins finishing Bo Nickel. That would add to it.
That'd be incredibly good.
Lopez Garcia just gonna beat the shit out of each other.
There's no funny outcome. It's just fun.
This is gonna be
just a fun fight. So,
is there a funny outcome? Is Derek Lewis?
Knocking out Hogan is absolutely hysterical. So absolutely hysterical.
All right, so there's a chance that 293 could be eclipsed. But if you're ever bored, if you're ever feeling, once in a while I do this. If I'm feeling down in the dumps, I'll go back and re-download the 293 post-fight show because of how much we laughed after Sean Strickland thumped up Israel Adesanya that night.
And this isn't fair, but I do think that like a little bit of my feelings on this fight is that I was pretty confident Chimaev was going to win. Was very confident. But I also knew that Sean could win. We all knew how, and even if maybe we didn't see it quite like that, the broad picture of that win is the same. Mostly keeps the fight on the feet. He outstrikes him, right? I thought that if that happened, we would it would just be funny like it was last time, and we'd be like, dude, Chimaev just never took him down, but instead I'm not laughing in the same way. And so I think I'm a little bit sad that if Sean was going to win, I thought it would be much funnier. And instead it's just like, okay, what do we do now?
Yeah.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's the champ. Is he going to stay the champ? What's going on? Super weird.
Jake, what's your take on Sean's post-fight speech? I've been annoyed he apologized, said he was selling the fight. I hate watching him. His scumbag behavior sells better than his fight style. I mean, kind of touched on this. Not surprised at all. We literally told you that was going to happen.
It's incredibly on brand. The whole Sean Strickland experience is not for me. If it's for you, I'm totally fine for you to enjoy it.
I actually prefer the post-fight Sean Strickland. I think that guy could be just as popular.
I don't know if he'd be just as popular, but you guys hear me talk about this in various ways. Mostly, I just don't want you to lie to me. Like, I don't. Where you can say it can be terrible, and I might not like that, but I'd like it better than you being two different entities. So
Yeah.
he is, and I am even willing to look. I've done combat sports. I've played a lot of very physical sports in my life. There's absolutely some part of like you are a bit of a different person after you engage in strenuous, combative physical activity, and you can just be like a little bit not as much of a dick because you just got a lot of testosterone emptied out. But like it is such clockwork of like to the death. This guy sucks. To what a warrior. I'm sorry, Chechnya. You guys have got great fighters. And it's like, okay, I guess it's working. It's certainly working for him, but I just be the same person, man. I think it'd be fine.
Yeah. I mean, just literally the last like 6 fights he's been in have been exactly the same. All of them. And you know what? He's going to go fight Nasruddin or somebody else next, and it's going to be the same thing. People are going to fall for it. And then, although Nasruddin, he'll put over Nasruddin, but Nasruddin ain't going to sit there and hug him before this fight. I can assure you of that. There's real heat on the Imavov side.
And I think Imavov just actually, because it was very obvious the whole time that Chimaev never hated Sean. Yeah. I do think Sean actually worked himself up into genuinely being angry. Imavov doesn't like that dude. So I don't know if they'll hug afterwards. I'm sure Sean would be like, I'm sorry for what I said, man. I don't know if Imavov would be like, that's cool. It'd be like, eat shit.
Yeah. Morning Womback. We all agree, given the glove touches and mutual love, that Nixick brokered the scripted beef for views and played all of us. No. Sean is Sean. Like, Sean knows how to talk himself into fights. But Nixick, the thing about Eric Nixick is he'll never get involved in the bullshit anyways. Even if Hamzat and Sean really, truly hated each other, Eric is still going to go up to is still going to shake Hamzat's hand. And Eric's talked to Hamzat since the fight was booked. Like, he ain't fighting Hamzat. So their relationship's going to stay the same. Like, nothing's going to change there. So, no, I don't think, like, Nixick is like, hey, guys, it'd be really fun. You guys can make a lot of money. I don't think Eric brokered anything. I just think that's how Sean and Hamzat are. They were buddies the whole time. And they had an understanding ahead of time.
Dude,
I'm going to say some pretty heinous shit. Just be prepared, but I don't mean it, bro.
Dude, this just Conor. I don't know if you guys know this. Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz really respect the piss out of each other.
Oh, yeah.
They're honestly probably some of the only fighters that either of them respect. It was very evident when they would do all of their shit. But
their rivalry changed the game.
Yeah, but you could tell the whole time that they were just like, okay, there's some stuff. This isn't all sunshine and roses, but like, there's a deep well of respect there. Most rivalries in this sport, there is a very clear modicum of respect. Like, the ones that aren't are Khabib and Conor and John and Daniel. And they just hate, like, that's real life. Like, that's real life hate. Y'all are people. You've been around real life hate and fake hate. That's real, or like hate versus rivalries. Most MMA rivalries are sporting rivalries. There is a real point of contention. We're fighting for something similar. You said something mean to me, but like, this isn't, I'm going to hate you until the day I die. Those are the rivalries where that's really like, I hate everything about you as a person.
Yeah, those two rivalries will never be settled. Eventually, good to see Chael and Anderson are good buddies now. But, there was real hatred there for a hot minute.
Again, most of that hatred was Anderson.
Yeah,
hating him. Where
because he wasn't used to anybody disrespecting him like that.
And that's sort of the thing with a real, like, a lot of rivalries in MMA are one-sided, or like the animosity is one way. And then it's reciprocal because somebody's being like, if you're being a dick to me, I'm probably not going to be kind to you.
Correct.
But I don't have an inherent issue with you. Conor and Khabib are just fundamentally different entities.
Yep.
and they will never. Those two are never going to get I mean, it's not like Khabib drinks beer. They're never going to get beer together.
No.
Daniel and John will hate each other forever because of who each other is, and like Hamza never hated Sean. I do think Sean worked himself into, but they could always patch this up.
Yeah.
There are very few inherently like impossible rivalries in the sport. This wasn't one of them. But they got to have some fun, and everybody went along for the ride.
Yes. Spencer Boyd.
Tito and Ken also.
Oh yeah, that's
genuine. Pretty. Those two dudes both hated the piss out of each other. I don't know if they've patched up in recent years. Did they?
After their third fight, when Tito beat him again, they were like.
It's also really hard when you're like a 50-year-old man to carry that same sort of energy. But
yeah,
I mean, Daniel and John will. Those two dudes will be and hating each other.
And Khabib will always hate Conor.
Yeah.
Spencer loved the 2 title fights. Never been more happy to be wrong about 2 outcomes. Sean is an enigma. Does he have the biggest 2 champ upsets put together in a career ever now?
I mean, probably.
I still would give it to Pena. Like, if we're averaging them out.
Well, if we're averaging them, sure.
It's Pena.
But like, well, the thing is, there are extremely few fighters who have multiple championship wins. You lose 9 times out of 10, you lose the belt. That's it. So literally ballparking it. There's probably like 12 fighters who have ever reclaimed a belt across any weight class in the UFC.
Yeah, Strickland's only in the second middleweight to do it.
Second middleweight to do it. Like it is such a rarity to reclaim a belt in general, and then to reclaim a belt and be an underdog in both fights. Most people who reclaim belts probably were an underdog in the second fight. They probably may or may not have been the first. So that's a real narrow window. So probably by default, he is it.
All right, last question from Ryan. Could Sean DDP 3 happen again? I think Sean won the first fight. Also, where's the Conor announcement?
I think Sean DDP could happen again.
Certainly.
DDP may be having a fight announced in the near future. If he wins that, Sean still has the belt. I think that's probably
kind of have to do that,
especially if Chimaev's leaving. That's probably very much in play. I think there's absolutely an argument for Sean to have won the first DDP fight. I think there's not a credible argument that he won the second, and I think a third fight will go extremely poorly for Sean, which sort of makes this weird that Sean has reclaimed the belt. And the Conor announcement, I think we sort of touched on this. Dana said at his presser that they don't have a deal reached. I think that's why I'm sure y'all have seen the rumors. It feels like we are on the 15-yard line, but they have not reached an agreement, like a new deal with Conor or whatever agreement they need with Conor. And so hadn't happened yet.
Yeah. I think this is a guy being a star and, oh yeah, you're going to do this? Here I am.
I'm certain that whatever the sticking point is almost entirely of most of Conor's money came from pay-per-view. That no longer exists. Yeah. I want a flat X dollars. The UFC says best I can, they hit the old Pawn Stars. Best I can do is $350. And Conor's like, I would like $50 million. Best I can do is $5 million.
And then the UFC is like, fine, I'll give you that, but you have to sign for another 8 fights.
So,
and he's like, no.
I'm sure it's some sort of a monetary number.
Yes.
I also assume at this stage that we will get to there, and that fight will be announced at some point in the near future.
I mean, we are 2.5. We're a month and a half away from International Fight Week. 2 months tops. We have nothing. We have Cody Garbrandt versus Adrian Yanez.
We're almost 2 months away from IFW because IFW is
no main event.
Yeah, it's in the next 2 weeks. I think we'll get it. 6 weeks is usually about the furthest out they let fight cards go without main event. So I think in 6 weeks we'll get it.
We're gonna get it this week, like with the MVP card coming up.
Oh, that's fair. They might do that as a drop set on like a Wednesday.
Oh yeah, MVP. Watch this. Bam. Conor McGregor's coming back
this week. Dana's gonna hit the old check my IG, going live to announce some fights.
Yeah.
And then that evening he will announce some fights.
Speaking of fights.
PFL
fights. Fights. They got to do it. Call them.
I mean, I don't have to call him. My good friend John Martin now follows us. He knows what's up. I don't have
music's playing.
I can't hear the music, but It's almost 2. I have an hour until I get home, and we still have a ton of work to do.
Yes. That damn scoundrel AK took the night off.
I mean, missed a good night of fights.
Yeah, solid.
He didn't want to be here to see Sean Strickland become the new.
But if you're wondering, and I know some of you are, how is AK feeling about what happened tonight? What does he think about the future of Sean Strickland and Joshua Van? Well, the good news is we have a matchmaking show. I think it's one of the greatest shows ever in MMA. The people love on to the next one. It's just fun. We could speculate. We all have different opinions. But AK is going to join us. Join me tomorrow, I think around 11 a.m. Eastern, and we're going to discuss where Sean Strickland, Joshua Van, and Alexander Volkov and Sean Brady, on and on we go with all of you guys. So we'll be live on the YouTube channel. We'll be on Twitter. We'll be on Twitch. And then if you miss it, then you can check it out on the podcast network. We're out of here. For Jed, I am Mike Heck. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Good night, everybody. And by the way, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Happy Mother's Day.
We're out of here.
Love y'all. King Green versus Michael Chandler. That's my auto pick.
Winner gets Conor McGregor.